morning, guys. So today, as you can see in the title, we are going to be talking about ways to make more money online and get over your fear of prospecting. And then also to explode into top earner status. I actually recently went through some training this weekend, and I just wanted to share with you what I learned from the training. I actually did learn a lot, so I just wanted to hop on here real quick and share it with you guys. Because to me, it's super important that I'm sharing it with you. And again, my name is Shay Toya. And a few of the points that I did make today was, number one, if you could possibly make money for every prospect call you made, I mean, how would that make you feel? And then also, the truth is we do have to start somewhere. We're not just going to be all of a sudden at the top. We all got to start at the bottom or start, different areas of the journey. And, the truth is, as we are learning these things, we have to implement. Implementing things are super important. Because if you're going to learn all these things but don't actually put it into action, what's the point of actually learning it? The question that they ask us are, what are some things that people are afraid of? What are some things that you're afraid of? And they said, most people, they don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear this. It's something that, a lot of times, we're scared of what is it that people are going to think about me. We have so much respect for people, and we really truly care about our self-image, and because we care about people and what people think about me, we're not willing to move ahead to the next step. And that's a lot of times why people don't become successful, because they're so scared of what is it that people are going to think about. And a lot of times we don't even like these people, or we do love these people and we don't want to live the lives that these people are living, but we still care about what these people think. The way we could change this is stop trying to close every person that you run into. We want to stop that thinking that everyone that we meet is our prospect and everyone that we meet is the person that we're trying to close. The truth is they're not. What our focuses need to be is, show people, to see if they're open. And then if they're not open, it's cool. One of the, things that they kind of told us is, think of every person that you talk to like a waitress or waiter. A waitress or a waiter might say, "Hey, you want a drink, or you want this pie?" But they're not going to be like, you say, "Oh no, thank you, I'm not hungry right now." They're not going to say, "Oh, you're an idiot," or you don't have the right mindset. Like, they're not going to put people down because they don't want to buy their products or join their opportunity. So that's just one of the things that they said. A lot of times that people might call people small-headed, or, as I said, an idiot, or, all these different things because they're not interested in what you have to offer. The truth is, if you're trying to close every person that you talk to, people can feel that. So it's just super important that, people can, feel that energy that you're actually trying to help them instead of just like close. And a lot of times, like, I've been to a lot of networking meetings, and a lot of times when I'm going to these networking meetings, you always have that one or, two people that are possibly in network marketing, and they're just trying to pass out their business card to everyone, thinking that everyone is their prospect. The truth is, not everyone's our prospect, and we actually have to, have a conversation with people and see, find out the problems that they're actually having. And this is something that you could say to yourself. This is something that they had us say to ourselves is, I want to help others. The only way to help others is to help others in a way to help them get help. Not everyone will join me, but no one will join if that doesn't get asked, or who doesn't get asked. So all that is saying, if I want to help people, but the only way that I could actually help people is ask them if they're interested. So it's just, as I said, it's just our job to actually show people, what we have to offer, and, not trying to close everyone. And then, one of the things they said, when it comes to fear, like, a lot of times, like, we don't do anything because of fear. And, they said, when it comes to while you're on your deathbed, and One of the things that you're going to remember, you're not going to remember about all those rejections that you got. You're not going to remember any of that. But what you are going to remember are, the lives that you helped change. Or, when you do pass away, like, that's what people are going to remember you is, your legacy of how you helped them. So it's super important that, when you are on your deathbed, or, when that time comes, that you don't have any regrets. And, the only way to do that is actually to put full effort into what you're currently doing. And the truth is, in the beginning, just like with me learning how to do these lives, like, I'm going to have to get better. And, in the beginning, I might not look or, look like a professional. But as I, get on more lives and do more videos and, talk to more people, maybe if it comes with my communication skills, I'm going to get better. So in the beginning, you might not look like a professional, but as you practice, you're going to get better. So this right here, some of the tips that they provided are more towards, somebody that possibly has a network marketing company, or, they're looking for people to actually join their team. So, they gave us some tips. Tip number 1 is to ask where they need help. A lot of times, we might be like, oh, join my opportunity, join this business, or I got the perfect product for you. But we're not finding out what's their issues that they're having. We're just trying to push our products, on that person. So the first tip that they gave me is to make sure you're finding out what do people need? What are people struggling with? So it's super important. If you're pitching someone who's not thirsty, they're not going to drink the water. So it just shows you, like, it's super important to actually be pitching someone that needs your product. And so that's just one thing that they talked about, is actually finding out what does that person need. And then number 2 is to talk about the trainings that your company has. Let them know more. Like, if you hear somebody that says they're struggling with the ability to talk to people, when you talk to them about the training that your company might have had last week about how to communicate with people. It's just, a lot of times that's what people are missing, is that training. And if your company offers that, then that's what you should talk about. And then another thing they talked about is we must take the focus off of us, and we must put the focus on our prospects. A lot of times we may say, hey, like, I know I've done that before, hey, I'm going for a promotion. Or, and then I'm not talking, and when I'm talking to that person, like, I shouldn't really be talking about me, I need to be talking about the other person. Because at the end of the day, for me to be able to help that person, I need to know what's going on with them, and we do that by asking questions. And then also, if they say if someone is being negative about your opportunity, or, whatever it is that you're currently offering, that's something that you could possibly say is, do you know anyone that would like to make some extra money if we showed them step by step on how to do it? So that's just, a quick little script that they gave us to somebody that's possibly looking for somebody to join their opportunity. And they also, during the training, they talked about the difference of, like, tonality. And this is still something that I'm currently learning when it comes to communicating. And then they say, like, a lot of times we're learning how to do these scripts. We're learning what to say. But the person that possibly made the script, they knew about tonality. And they knew, if they said things different ways, they're going to get a better reaction. So a lot of times we're using these scripts, but we don't really understand tonality. The way that we say things, could possibly help somebody, join us, whatever it is. So learning about tonality is super important, and that is still something that I'm still learning every day on how to become better. Another tip they did give us is we must learn not to be eager or desperate. I've talked about it in the past. As a woman, while you're in the dating world, you don't like that man, or vice versa, that's very eager or very desperate, or acting like they don't have anything else to do. And so when it comes to your business, think of it like the same way. Like, if you're always being desperate to try to get that date, like, that girl's not going to be interested. And so the same thing comes to your business. Like, if you're too desperate, people aren't going to be interested in what you have to offer, because they feel that on you. So that is something that they did talk to us about in the training, and like learning to not be so desperate. That is something that I learned. And so, in the beginning, one of the things that they did talk about is we must first learn how to generate a lead. Learn to actually how to get that lead. Then we must be able to connect with that lead and determine the need. So that's a pretty good, something that we have to do in the beginning is learn how to generate a lead, connect with a lead, and determine the lead need. And a lot of times, like we're, falling short in one of those pieces. And then also, like if you help somebody or somebody's not interested in your, what you have to offer, making sure that you're asking for referrals. They did talk about that, and a lot of times we're not asking or we're not using that lead to the full potential that it could possibly be. The next thing they talked about is we need to focus on their needs and not on our quota. So if you have a promotion that you're trying to hit, but you're just you keep trying to like talking about yourself, we need to focus on the customer or our prospect's needs, not ourselves. And then also, when it comes to, when you are on a sales call, understand that the sale might not happen the first time, but, with follow-up, it could possibly happen in the future. So it's super important. And then also, like, for whatever reason you don't close, remember that the sale could possibly happen in the future, and don't make things weird. Keep that connection and keep following up. Super important. And another thing that they talked about is the perfect person attraction formula. So number one, who is it that you want to attract? I talked about this when it comes to attraction marketing. Like we really have to be focused on who is it that we want to attract. Number two is, figuring out who is it that we want to attract, then figuring out are the people that we want to attract their problems. So what problems are they facing? And number three is, you do content around the people's problems. So if you know that your prospects, the people that you're looking to connect, have issues with their skin, so you want to make sure you're doing content around skin, and around ways to, if they have blemishes or acne, around ways to solve their problems. And then also in the training they talk about we need to become a content creator, not a content consumer. So we need to be focused on actually providing content to people instead of us trying to assume content. And for us to get those followers that we're looking for, or build our brand, we need to be worthy of the following. So we just need to make sure we're providing content that people actually want to follow. Like if you're just putting on there you played Candy Crush, or like pictures that people don't really care about, then why is it that I should follow you? So that's just why it's so important that you're providing value. And then another step is honestly what I'm doing right now is share what we are learning. So focus on, like, if you don't really feel like you have much to offer, just share what you're learning. And if somebody could possibly use what you're teaching them and use it for their to become better. And as I said, I've said this prior, no one goes to social media to buy. If they want to buy, they're going to search on Google, they're going to search on even Craigslist, like all Amazon. They're going to go to all these different places before they go to social media to buy. So it's super important that you're not just like posting all these products and all these different things on your profile, because nobody goes to Facebook to buy. No one goes to Instagram to buy. They might see what you have to offer. They're like, So that's just something that just to think about is, making sure that you're providing some type of entertainment or some type of value, because people are most likely not really appreciating the sales pitch on your profile. And then also learn to build curiosity. So it's super important, learn how to build curiosity when it comes to your post. And honestly, this is pretty much, this training was about an hour and a half. So I couldn't, I'm not going to share with you guys everything that I learned. There was so much more. I hope you guys did get some value from it. And as I said before, as I learn, I'm planning on educating you guys as well. If there's anything that could possibly help you in the past, get over the fear of prospecting, please comment below. I would love to hear it. And again, my name is Shay Toya, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.